Hi, Kelly Shute, pediatric occupational therapist. I am thrilled you are here today. Okay, Mother's Day is right around the corner, and today I'm going to give you 5 reasons why booking a call with me could be the best Mother's Day gift that you give yourself or you ask for from somebody else, because I have been in the child development, kids, family, therapy world for a really, really long time. And I just have lots of experience. I've seen it all. I promise you, I've seen it all. Seen it all with families, with schools, with all the stuff. And I can help give comfort and confidence to your parenting through 5 different ways. So today we are going to talk about 5 things that keep cropping up for me, that I keep seeing consistently with moms, that are basically thought errors, ways that moms kind of think of how they parent that trip them up. And I want to debunk these 5 things because they're not true, and they hold you back from parenting in the best possible way that you want to show up for your kid and how your child wants you to show up. So let me give you just a quick rundown. I am a pediatric occupational therapist. That means I've had education, training in all the different systems of a human body. So I understand the stages, what that looks like for the muscles, the cognitive system, the sensory system, all the different systems, and how do we get a human's system to be A-okay in an environment, around people, all the different things. I have a big understanding of that. And one of the ways that I think I'm different than other parent coaches, counselors, psychologists, other people who are writing blogs and other people who are talking about parenting is that I operate from a body up approach. So a lot of parenting experts operate from what I would call the mind and the brain down. I come from the body up, and that's from my occupational therapy training. Like, I understand that how a human develops comes initially from their body, what their body is communicating to them. And a human's body will mature before the brain matures. And I understand that. And when you are raising kids, your child has so many different ages, stages, growth, and changes that are happening and maturing, and their sensory system's getting locked into place, their interoceptive system in regard to a signal that tells you when you need to use the restroom, that's coming into play. And then when a child understands, oh, okay, I need to go to the bathroom, and that system's integrated well. And a lot of times parents don't understand that actually when a stage or age or developmental goal is reached, there's no reason for you to know. Like, it's silently integrated into smooth functioning. And so that can be tricky to figure out. So I help parents understand all that. The other thing that is different and unique to me is, as a Catholic mom of 3, like, my faith and the grounding in who God made us to be, how God formed us. We are unique. You are a unique parent. I am a unique parent. Your child is unique. But I understand also God's design for all of it. God's design in the sameness of humans and how we develop, but also God's uniqueness to each of us. And so each child has a unique bodily makeup that in the ages of 3 to 8, which is my love, a child's body has different ways of communicating what is going on inside their body. And my goal is to help parents figure out, what is that behavior saying? What is your child communicating? And how can I help parents have just an easy time of parenting, help them to understand, help them have confidence that they are the absolutely best right parent for their child. And I know that sometimes parents don't feel that way. Okay, so that's what I do. That's what I'm about. Reason number one, that I can help, and it's, again, a perspective lots of parents have that is wrong. Like a thought that I will never change. Parenting is going to be difficult. I can't change. How I show up to my child won't change. And I'm just here to tell you, I have seen everything. And there is no lost cause. There is no case that is too tricky. There is no child-parent dynamic that can't be healed, that can't be helped. And I can speak into it because I have seen so many different things. And you can change. And if your child is, 3 years old, you got your child from birth to 3. Even if you didn't birth your child, maybe you adopted a child at, under a year. You've got them this far. You've already changed. You've already adapted. You've already sacrificed. I could give you pages and pages of things that tell you change every day. The different schedules, how long they sleep, do they take a nap? Have they stopped taking a nap? Oh, well, that becomes developmentally healthy for them not to nap. And so you've already changed, and you will change. And I'm happy to help you give you support for what that change can look like. So that is reason number one. Okay, reason number two, a thought that parents have. And, sometimes I've had moms say, how did you know that? Like, that's exactly what I was thinking, but I'm pretty sure I didn't tell you. Well, again, I'm a mom. I probably had all the same thoughts that you have. But because of my training and education and just experience over so long, I can know that's not right. I'm going to have that thought, but that's not actually true. So the second one parents often think is, I should know how to do this. Well, how? No, you shouldn't. It is incredibly complicated. The way each human is made, it's a complicated machine for sure. And again, I understand how all those systems work. And so I can help you understand that a child's system, it's tricky, it's complicated. It can be hard to understand. And you don't know what you don't know. And sometimes something super simple can make all the difference in the world. And so one of the areas that I focus a lot with parents is helping them understand that their young kids, ages 3 to 8, their sensory system, which is all the senses in our body, our hearing, our sight, our taste, smell, touch, our motion, and body awareness, the sensory system has lots of ways and changes, and it has a huge effect in how a 3 to 8-year-old is going to show up. And when I explain to parents, like, let me give you an example. I had a mom who called me, again, just a consult. She had a friend who she was so frustrated with, and the friend said, oh my gosh, okay, I think if you call this lady, she will help you. So she called me and said, here's my thing. Every week, I take my kids to swim lessons indoors at a indoor facility with 2 pools. And we get about 5 minutes into the swim lesson, and my 3-year-old comes unglued, screaming. And the rest of the time, the kids that are in the lesson, 2 kids, older kids who are in the swim lesson, and then she has the 3-year-old who is completely unhinged, and then she has a younger one. So she said 5 minutes into swim lessons, all hell breaks loose. I don't know what to do. I don't know what's causing it. I don't want to take my older kids to swim lessons. I get that. I totally would be the same. I don't want to sign on for this craziness once a week. But she wanted her 2 older ones to learn how to swim. Well, I gave her the sensory profile assessment that I give to a lot of parents and recommend that you take on yourself and also your kids. So the 3-year-old had a huge sensitivity to smell. So inside this indoor swimming place, it smelled a ton like chlorine. There was so much, a very strong smell. And so this 3-year-old could only withstand like 5 minutes. And then his smelling was so overloaded. It was alarming to him. He was like, no, I've got to go. I've got to get out. And so she couldn't figure out what that was, but it very quickly was apparent to me. And so I said, here's the thing. I think your 3-year-old cannot handle that smell. It's too much to him after 5 minutes. How about this week? We try you going outside. You get your 2 kids inside. Take the 3-year-old with you. You've got all 4 kids going in. We're going to sing, and then you're going to take 3-year-old and baby outside. Go for a walk. Tell me how that works. That was it. That was all she needed, was somebody to kind of interpret what that behavior looked like, to help her figure out what that child was communicating. And so you shouldn't know how to do this. You probably need help. I need help. And I'm trained in it and have been in it with 3 teenagers for a long time. But I'm always looking to people, to parents that are a little bit ahead of me. What are they doing? What are they, what struggles are they having? And it's not like I'm intentionally, sometimes I am seeking out what's going on, but I'm just picking up, gathering information. Now, in my job as a therapist, I also understand human tendencies. As women, we are the gatherers, right? Men are the hunters, the single focus, gonna shoot the deer. We are the gatherers. We're gathering the berries, and I'm always gathering information. And moms, you are doing this all the time. You have a bunch of information. A lot of times, you just need me to ask the question, and then I pull it right out of you, and we come up with a plan and a strategy, and it is a simple fix. So you don't know what you don't know, and a lot of times it can be very easy. And don't shy away from asking if you do not know. Again, I think a lot of parents get turned off because they hear the word occupational therapist and they're like, well, we don't need that. We aren't that bad yet. We don't need a therapist. I can figure it out. And you can, but what if one little simple 20-minute call to me could make it a heck of a lot easier? Why wouldn't you try that? Understand, God made us for community. We are here to help each other, to lean on each other, to be here for each other. And so ask for help. I do all the time. Okay, let's season number 3. Parenting is always going to be hard. This is one that I can quickly debunk because, again, I understand the ages and stages of parenting. And I'm also very quickly letting parents know, the ones that I work with, the family, as a coach, as a therapist, I'm like, you get to do what works for you. Your priority is what works for your family, your values, your unique family unit. And so it is not always going to be hard. There are certain stages of parenting that are more challenging, and I can speak into that. So the ages of 8 to 12 are what is called the golden years because kids are more independent. They can do a lot of things for themselves. They're kind of out of the age and stage of totally being into mom. They they don't really need you as much. And so those golden years of 8 to 12, it should be a little bit easier. You know, your kids are in your care a lot. When they're teenagers, they're going to head out. But when you understand that, you can enjoy and really celebrate the easy years. And then when you have the more challenging years, no, it's not you. It is not personal to you. It's just how God designed the process of a human growing and maturing. So it is not always going to be hard. Okay. And again, a simple fix. It can be something super simple that I'm able to say. One of the things that I say is to parents all the time is, this is normal, age-appropriate behavior. A parent will be like, this is terrible. This was horrible. And I'm able to reassure them, actually, this is the behavior we want. If we weren't getting this behavior, we would be even more worried. And parents are like, oh, okay, this is normal and this is what's supposed to happen. Then they feel comfort. Then they feel confident. Okay, I didn't screw up my kid. Actually, this is the way humans develop. Now, I'm not saying that if they're giving us a behavior that is not right in, and I don't know how I want to really share the context of it, but some things, it's an undesirable behavior at this point in this environment, but it's age appropriate for the child to be displaying it. So at certain ages, independence is going to come more into play than others. And so if it occurs, you know, with a mom, when she is has a bunch of kids at a restaurant and her child is going outside the restaurant after they finish their meal because they want to be independent, that's not okay. That's not an okay way for them to display their independence, because mom needs to know where you are. I need to keep you safe. Again, when I can get parents to understand, oh, this is actually an age-appropriate thing the child is supposed to be having right now, but let's figure out a way to give them independence in a different situation, because leaving a restaurant or going outside the restaurant with you is not okay. So lots of different ways I can help there. Okay, fourth thing that a lot of parents think that, again, is, I want to debunk it. I want you to know that I should know my child. I should already be the expert on my child. I should know things to do automatically. No, you should not. This is a process. This is, again, God's design of intentionally putting you with your child and growing you and letting you continue to discover, be curious, learn, and have this adventure of growing a child, this adventure of doing life together as a family. An outside perspective can be huge to families, because sometimes, mom, you are so tired, you are so worn out, you are so in it that you can't see what really could be the need that you have. And so sometimes just somebody who has a different lens, which is me, speaking into it and looking into your situation with your child, your family dynamic, like whatever the issue is at the moment, sometimes I can so quickly see what the, kind of the root of the problem is and how to address it. I have a different lens. I have lots of different things that I've seen work for different families. So that is one thing that I can speak into. I will have parents say, okay, well, I've talked to my mom about it and I've talked to my sister about it. Well, your mom and your sister know kind of what works for your family unit. But I've seen so many other family units and all kinds of different ways to make it work for you, unique to you, unique to your kid, unique to your family. There's so many different ways we can make that work. And I just want you to know that an outside perspective can be sometimes the fastest, most effective way for you to have success with the issue at hand with your family. Okay, fifth thing that so many parents think is, I'm doing this alone. Nobody else is really helping me. Nobody else understands like I do. Oh, this is exhausting. I'm in it by myself. And you are never in it by yourself. God is always there. And I have such a heart for moms. I am a mom. I am here to tell you that even when it seems like you are alone and you're like, I am in a drowning ship, nobody is helping me, and I am hardly keeping my head above water. Okay, you have access to the Lord, to help, to the Holy Spirit, and ask Him in. You know, I'm not shy about telling parents, you're not going to get this right unless you have the help of the Lord and the Holy Spirit. And I work in my family with my kids, with my own Catholic faith in a way that strengthens all of us all day, every day. And so I encourage parents. I also I'm praying for all the families that I work with. And I can speak into that. Like there is a spiritual realm in play in our parenting every single day. And so I want to give you support, give you ideas, give you help in all of those ways because it matters. Okay. One of my strengths, one of my charisms, is intercession. And so I tell parents when I'm working with them, I feel like my role a lot is to be the interpreter, do in between kids and parents. What is this child's behavior saying? What does the parent think it's saying? But what is it actually saying? I'm constantly, that role of intercession for me is huge. And I'm interceding in a direct, earthly way, but also in a spiritual way. Like I'm praying all the time for mothers across the globe and their kids. And so I can help in that way too. I do often have parents say, okay, I don't know how to talk about God. I don't know how to bring this up with a teenager. I don't know how to do things like that. Again, I'm not perfect. I know I'm not going to be. I have to invite God in to help me parent in the most perfect way that I can. And so I'm happy to give any ideas, help, and knowledge in that way because you're not alone. In fact, you have an incredible source of knowledge, information, resources, and that's God. And you just have to boldly ask for that help. Okay, 5 reasons how I know I can help you, because these are 5 things that have come up over and over and over again with all the parents that I have worked with. And so if there's anything that I've said today that you've liked, that has resonated with you, that you want to share with somebody, please do that. If I can help you, book a call with me. Let's talk. What's the big struggle? What's the big thing at this moment? What's come out of the blue with your one child that used to be like, oh, this is my easy one. How in the world am I going to deal with this? I have no clue. I can help.